Hello, small groups. This is for the week of October 31st, and I think I totally forgot to tell you all I was going to be on vacation last week, so sorry there was no video. So this week we are looking at praying for our children. So I invite you this week to read 1 Samuel 1 and 2. Hannah's story is so powerful, and I was reminded of it this week in preparation for the sermon. So I invite you to read it and to really let those words wash over you as you think about what it took for her to pray those words, to ask God, and then to follow through. She had promised God that she would give her child back to God if he would grant her wish. And she actually did. So again, this child that she'd been yearning for years finally was granted to her. And instead of getting to see this child raise up after he was weaned, she gave him back to God. And so what that faithfulness must have looked like. And then reread her prayer as well in 1 Samuel 2, verses 1 through 10, those powerful words. And then I want you to really think about, who are those people who prayed for you? Maybe it was a grandparent. I know my grandparents were praying for me. Maybe it was someone in your church who took very seriously that call to pray for children. Maybe it was someone you knew about, or often it was probably someone you didn't know about. I know I was raised in a church that really took seriously the instruction of children and youth. And I am a result of that. Just like my friend Taylor lifted up to his church the fruit of their faithfulness. Well, my church was one of those that was faithful to living into the covenant that they made for families and especially children. And so many were blessed because of that. We all experienced such love that we got to experience that love and forgiveness that we are told. And so I'm going to read for you again those vows, and I want you to let them wash over you as we think about the promises that we make. So we promise, with God's help, we will proclaim the good news and live according to the example of Christ. So we are promising to be those faithful disciples and be that example for our children. We will surround these persons with a community of love and forgiveness, that they may grow in their trust of God and be found faithful in their service to others. So are we surrounding our children and surrounding one another with a community of love and forgiveness? And if not, how can we? And then finally, we will pray for them that they may be true disciples who walk in the way that leads to life. Are we praying for our children? Are we doing it? And lastly, I want you to think about those children in your life that God might be placing in your heart. Of course, I hope you're praying for your children, your grandchildren, your relatives. But what about those other children that God might be placing in your heart? You might not even know their name. Maybe it's when you drop your child or your grandchild off at the bus stop, there's one child who always catches your eye and just looks gloomy. Again, you don't have to know their name, but you can start lifting them up in prayer. Maybe it's as a teacher, maybe it's that child that you promised you would never name your children after, right? That child who just had the ability to get under your skin and push all your buttons. Are you praying for that child? Who are the children in our lives that we are called to pray for? And are we taking it seriously? Are we praying for them every single day? Praying for their comfort and their protection, but especially for them to live into their calling and for their character. All right, friends, I hope you have a wonderful week and know I'm praying for you.